Hello, goodness of days, this is Natasha, Walter-Pinay. I'm here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty over this amalgamation of low-quality time lapses. Before we get into the tea of my thesis work and research questions, I'd like to share a bit about myself and my work. I'm an Indigenous Canadian artist. I originate from the Pepkisis Cree Nation on Treaty 4 territory in Saskatchewan. However, I grew up on a traveling carnival in the States. My primary choice of medium is acrylic and oil paint on canvas, either stretched and primed or raw and unprimed. Here you can see I'm working unprimed and stretched. You may also take notice over the course of this video that I work very figuratively. To start out, I can say I'm drawn to painting people and I'm drawn to the faces, having the privilege to have met and taken the time to know so many while growing up traveling from place to place. Furthermore, it became obvious to me the binaries of living dually as a citizen between Indigenous origin and a colonial upbringing, as well as the non-conventional migratory life and living domestically for the other half. In time, I realized that as many connections I was making, I couldn't help but notice the many disconnections between them. In Pratibha, Parmar, and Trinh Minh-ha's interview, Woman, Native, Other, Minh-ha describes the struggle clearly, saying, "When am I Vietnamese? When am I American? When am I Asian? And when am I Asian American or Asian European? Which language should I speak? Which is closest to myself? And when is that language more adequate than another? By working on one's limits, one has the potential to modify them. Fragmentation is therefore a way of living at the borders." This quotation can be found on page 72 on that interview, by the way. So I ask, how might culturally hybridized individuals navigate the liminal space between dualities, especially in a time where collective historical atrocious histories are so recent? How do we continue to acknowledge and honor and respect the past and our ancestors while attempting to do the same for ourselves? There's this underlying subconscious guilt that takes place and manifests in ourselves. There are constant reminders of our colonial histories: land, cities, government documentation, borders, the clothes I wear, the way I speak, the way I act, the way I walk. I often wonder if there is a possibility for coexistence mentally and physically with each other, ourselves, and our histories, as well as Earth. But that's a dream of utopia, and right now we're still building the bridge. Grief, a collective experience, is often felt and processed individually. It takes form in many different ways. In my work, I tend to explore and embrace this lostness of guilt, grief, and disembodiment through these figures. When I paint these figures, it helps me understand this place a bit more. And I hope that it might help others in that same way as well. Now, while we're on the topic of hopes and dreams, I hope to make the perfect sandwich after this. Okay, side note, I think sandwiches are the utopia. They have literally everything that you need in one thing. And it's perfect. In my opinion, don't quote me. Oh, and they're versatile. Like, if you're gluten-free, get gluten-free bread. If you're vegetarian, just put veggies in it. And if you're like a carnivore, just fill that thing with, like, I don't know, steak or chicken or something. Okay, we're done with sandwiches, I'm sorry. I guess what I'm trying to do, rather than not be hungry, is try to build the sandwich of my practice. So while I'm here, I hope to continue to explore the ways grief may take form. And at the moment, I am trying to find a way to harmonize my stylistic choices in painting. I have two styles, but the problem is that they look like two different people painted them. However, that might support the struggle of living dually, internally and externally. Additionally, I'd also like to explore how grief is a good thing and how it is an act of resistance. I find the contrast interesting that it can remind us that we are still alive, yet have us feel so deathly inside. Anyhow, thank you for watching or listening. I hope you have a fantastic day. Okay, bye! I'm gonna